It's Terry. I'm your host, Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me is my guest, Reverend Bryan. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Yay, Thursday.
So, we are here to do more or less three card spread tarot readings. We know how this works out. So, I hope everyone had a good holiday if you're in the States, and had some time with your family and friends. If you've got a question for us, go ahead and post it in chat or just say hi and tell us where you're at. And I just cleaned out the Thanksgiving leftovers tonight.
Yeah.
I
You got
decided,
exactly almost a week's worth of leftovers. How lovely.
yes. Hello, Janet. Hello, Michael. Good to see you.
Hi, Janet. Hi, Michael.
Yeah, I decided what was hanging in the fridge from a whole week probably didn't need to be eaten anymore. Hey, Ed, good to see you.
Hi, Ed. Hi, Sir Linwood.
Renwood. So if anyone's got a question for us, go ahead and post it.
Would you like to give our happy disclaimer?
I'll let you give our happy disclaimer.
All right. I'd love to. So, just a couple housekeeping rules. We will not announce the gender of your newborn offspring. We will not answer any medical questions as we are not medical professionals. We unfortunately cannot see into the future when it comes to world peace and global conflict. And as much as we would love to be the lawyers, executors, and guards of the universe for justice, we are not that either. So we cannot answer your legal questions.
So
Anything
with
else,
that all,
however, is fair game.
having said that, please post your questions if you have any. Surely someone's got a question. And while we're waiting on questions, we'll also mention the Pagan World Yule Auction. We have the address on pagan.world where you can have a look at the auction scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Bryan and I both have readings up that you can buy. There's also a link to our eBay auction.
Buy one
And
from
we
her.
have, thank you. You can also buy one from him. Trying to get my right and my left straight here. And we've got several wonderful items. There's some evil eye teapots that are hot. If you want an evil eye teapot, get your bid in. We've got a beautiful chalice up, the surprise box, a couple of really interesting statues, and some interesting zodiac sets with a matching bracelet, pendant, and key ring. And we'll have
Didn't
some
even
other
know.
interesting things up tomorrow.
Ew. And where does all the funds go to, Mary?
All the funds are going to Pagan World TV. So please help us raise some money and pay the bills through the end of the year.
Huzzah.
And get a jump on your Yule shopping.
Sounds fantastic. So if you would like a reading, just in the chat, either ask for a general reading or ask us a question. Where's Renee when we need her?
Ah,
What deck are you using tonight, Mary?
I am using the Infinite Tarot or Tarot of Hecate, designed by Reverend Don Lewis, as usual, since this deck put all my other decks in hiding when I got it. And Lynn has asked for a general reading from boy Bryan.
That would be me.
Alrighty, well, I can do a general reading too, but if you just want Bryan, go right ahead.
Just for context, Linwood is my sir in my vetting for my leather dynamics. So it's their first
Alright.
time coming and seeing me in action doing this. So let's do it.
Alrighty, I will sit this one out.
Cool. And much appreciated, Mary. So the first card that I pulled for you, Sir Linwood, is the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands is about action and passion as well. So this is really a time to really reinforce your boundaries and your authenticity within all of your dynamics. Really taking charge of yourself and your actions. I would also say the second card that I pulled is the Ace of Wands. So this is really about new inspiration, new potential, um, seeing what's in front of you and going forward and not stopping. Surprisingly, I pulled all wands for this reading, and that was with a very thorough shuffle. The Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is usually when it comes to wisdom and perspective, um, and really you're almost there. You're at the finish line, or you finish something, and all right, one more because that's just how we roll sometimes. The Ace of Wands, which is about new mentalities and new communication skills. So I would say right now, be firm in your decisions. Know that your passion and your determination are being seen, and that what you're going through right now is temporary and will come with new communication skills that you didn't have before. And I hope that was helpful.
All right, and now we've got a general reading for Michael. Hope you're doing well tonight, Michael, and I'm sure it's warmer where you are than where I am.
It's colder where I am than where you are. Just saying.
Merry meet Anissa, and happy Turkey Day to you.
Turkey, turkey. Wait, yeah, last week was turkey, but all right.
Hey, Dragon, good to see you.
Hello, Dragon. I will let you go first since I did the first reading solo.
All right, general reading for Michael. Okay, so the first card I have for you, Michael, is the Six of Pentacles. And I've got a bit of a glare here. There we go. So this card is talking about using your resources wisely in the material plane. Next card I've got for you is the moon. So with the moon, this is talking about the situation is going to need some magic. Whatever you're trying to accomplish right now, you're going to need to reach into the spiritual realm and use your magical abilities. And then finally, we've got the past. This is one of the cards unique to this deck. And here we see an older woman looking at her reflection. And this card is telling us to be sure you're not being held back by old patterns, old ways of thinking, old relationships. So in your current situation, you want to be looking for new answers, not repeating old things. So I hope that is helpful, Michael.
All right, Michael. So for you, I have the Queen of Pentacles, which is about nourishment and growing and maintaining new hearts. So I would say allow abundance to flow naturally. Don't force it. You're already doing all the things. There's really nothing for you to do other than cultivate what you're already growing. And then I pulled the King of Pentacles, which is also about taking pleasure in the profit that you've grown and being not frivolous, but enjoying maybe an extra self care item. With that being said, however, the third card that I pulled is the Ten of Wands. So being aware that with self indulgence comes some responsibility and obligation, being that it's the end of a month and beginning of a new month, pay your bills before you pay yourself. And then enjoy yourself. And that's what I got for you, Michael.
So I hope that's helpful, Michael. And Shundai, I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly, is next. At first, Sean has said, am I ever going to find love again after my husband's passing to the Summerland? It's been 5 years now. And then Sean clarified and said, I'd like a general reading. So we will be happy to do that for you.
Elvis has entered the building. Well, the side of the building.
I'm sorry.
Elvis has entered the side of the building.
Oh, hello, Elvis.
That's my cat.
Is Elvis going to come on camera for us, or is Elvis being shy?
I think she's having a little stage fright today.
Alrighty. Maybe Elvis will grace us with her presence. Alrighty. All right, Sean, the first card I've got for you is the body. I'm reading with the Tarot of Hecate, or the Infinite Tarot, designed by Reverend Don Lewis, and it does have several cards unique to it. When the body comes up, it is saying that to be careful because any choices you make could have unintentional consequences. The next card I've got is the Ace of Swords. And swords are around communication and sometimes action. So I'm going to say your situation right now, you need to be, especially bearing in mind the advice from the body, is you need to be sure you are communicating clearly what you are thinking and feeling and what you need. And if you're putting out any kind of energy or working on finding a new romantic partner, be clear on the kind of person you want to attract. What are the qualities you are looking for in a potential mate? And the last card I've got for you is the Ten of Lamps. Lamps is the fifth suit of this deck, and lamps deals with spiritual and magical matters. And 10, of course, is the number of completion in any suit of the tarot. So this is saying that you are in a good place in your spiritual practice. So you can manifest what you want. Just be sure you are clear in your intentions. So over to you, Bryan.
So the first card I pulled is the Three of Swords, and like you said, Sean, you're still grieving your partner who passed away 5 years ago. So I'm sorry to hear that. Um, but I would say that you're healing and slowly, and there is no time, there is no deadline for that. However, it I pulled the Eight of Swords for the second card, which sort of feels like you're putting restriction on how you date or who you date, which is maybe why you're not finding love again, because you're trying to find someone that can meet the same bar as your husband, and no one can replace or take that space. There can only be new relationships and new bonds formed. So I would say be gentler with yourself about who or what you're looking for and what you attract, and maybe even exploring the opposite or the parallel opposite of sort of what and who your husband was, and see what you find. Because with that, there's the Two of Wands, which is about the world is basically your oyster, but you have to want to go out and explore it. And maybe you're not ready yet, or maybe you're scared, but I would say there is love out there if you seek it.
And I hope that's helpful. And next we are up to Renee, who would like a general reading. And hello, Renee. It's always good to see you.
Hi, Renee. One of these days, I swear I'm going to get like a cardstock cut or something. Oh, I'm ready. Would you like me to go first?
Yes, if you don't mind, I'm still shuffling.
Sure. So, Renee, the first card I have for you is the Fool, which is about obviously new possibilities, adventure, being free spirited. So, I would say something new is on the horizon. And then I pulled the Magician, which is about manifesting. So, I would say you're manifesting something new, something different. And then the third card I pulled is the Nine of Cups, which, as you know, is called about the wishes. And as we always say when this card comes up, be very careful what you manifest and how you manifest it, because if you're not careful with your words or your intentions, you'll get exactly what you want. So whatever it is that's new, that's cooking up inside your brain, Renee, you can do it, but be very careful how you phrase it to the universe, because it will happen.
All right, Renee. So the first card I've got for you is the Eight of Pentacles. Quit looking at his butt, Bryan.
Okay.
You were.
I know.
So this card is talking about working at perfecting your craft. So
In his
you're
case,
working. What, Bryan?
in this card's case, the squats, building the glutes.
He's a painter. He's working on perfecting his abilities to paint. Bryan. Uh, so this is about working to perfect your skill at something. Then we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So this means you're going to get a gift of out and out luck from the universe. Something is just going to go your way. And then finally, we've got the Ace of Lamps. So this is around your spirituality, and this is a call to focus a bit there. What is it you're wanting to learn or do right now? So I hope that is helpful for you, Renee. And then Janet said a general reading from Mary, but we're both doing general readings. Linwood is a special friend of Bryan's, but we can both read for you, Janet.
Yeah.
And we have a jumper.
Yay, jumper.
Jumper, jumper.
Oh, I got one of the specialty cards for this specific deck, so that's fun. Would you like me to go?
You may go.
Okay. Okay, Janet. So the first card that I pulled is the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess is about sort of that also manifesting and bringing some of that good energy, feminine, divine feminine energy to your life. Um, so I would say tapping into what you've always been tapping into is what's beneficial for you right now. Your natural intuition is the key there. Now, in this deck, which is the Next World Tarot, instead of the Hierophant, this artist changed it to the Teacher. But it has the same meanings as the Hierophant. Obviously, in teaching, you were taught, it's the institution of knowledge, tradition. Um, so I would say it would seem like you are going into that sort of maternal teaching side of your life. Um, because I also pulled the 10 of Cups, which is the happy family card. So I would say this is a really good season and cycle for you. Um, whether it's that you teach children or you're the parent who is the primary teacher in the home. Um, Whoever it is in your life who seeks knowledge and guidance from you is really going to thrive this season under your mentorship. So keep doing it.
Okay, so the first card I've got for you is the Five of Pentacles, and this indicates some issues in the material realm. So be careful around your finances in the near future. Then I've got the Eight of Cups. So don't let fear rule you. We see here a man who is being beset by ghost, spirit, something in the dark, but they're not real. So, whatever you might be afraid of, it's really not as bad as you think it is. And then finally, we've got the Queen of Swords, which is a card that comes up representing me a lot. But this is about a woman who has learned from the past and grown stronger for it. And it's also about communicating your truth. So, learn from the past and in your current situation, speak your truth clearly. And I hope you find that helpful, Janet. And hello to Fluffy. How are you doing?
Hi, Fluffy.
All right, and let's see here.
We've got a
And
question from Tammy.
Tammy. Yes.
Uh-oh.
All right, Tammy. I'll be
We have
happy to do it now.
jumpers, plural.
What?
We have jumpers.
All right. Jumpers.
I got them. All right.
And I have a card getting caught under my ring. That's interesting.
That's a new one.
It is.
Ma'am. We have tail problems apparently in Catland.
What's going on with Elvis's tail?
She's trying to eat it. She realizes she has one.
Is this a new development?
It's an occasional development when she's had a bit too much catnip. So the first card I pulled, Tammy, is the Two of Swords. So ask yourself what the intention or the desired outcome has been in whatever is challenging you. You are your own worst enemy, and essentially you're canceling yourself out without realizing it mentally or physically. The second card that I pulled is the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles say that even though you are essentially mentally or physically sabotaging yourself, if you tell yourself that you can do this, you have every ability to control and stabilize the situation on your own. But you need to inherently remember your worth, that no matter what, you can do this. You have every tool to be able to financially or materially get back on track. And then the Seven of Wands is about challenges, whether external or internal. So this entire reading is saying right now, the person that you're doubting or the person that you're fighting is yourself. And you really need to take that time to confront yourself, to look in the mirror and say, what's going on? What's the problem? So I would say take some time to just journal and work it out. Have a fight with yourself if you have to.
All right. So the first card I've got is the Princess of Lamps. Lamps is the suit of spiritual development, and the princess is always saying, because the princess represents Earth, that somehow you're holding yourself back in your spiritual growth. The next card I have is, this is the Five of Lamps. Here we see someone setting out on a vision quest. So that's the advice for this card is you need to give yourself some space to connect with your spirituality and where you need to be going. Do some kind of whatever your spiritual path would require. It could be a vision quest, a ritual, meditating in silence, doing a retreat, whatever works within your own spiritual path. But you need to take some time out and reconnect. And then I've got the Fool. So the Fool represents all possibilities because you need to start afresh. So on your spiritual path, and it goes with the rest of the reading, you need to give yourself some time to think, reflect, meditate, and make a fresh start. And Tammy, I hope you find that helpful. Mm. Mm.
I think Sarah's next.
Yes, Sarah is next.
We're getting so popular, we might need a mod.
We are getting popular.
Woohoo!
Woo-hoo. Once again, for those just joining us, you see the Pagan World auction scrolling at the bottom. If you go there, Bryan and I both have readings available, as well as Reverend Dawn and Reverend Phoenix. And there's also a link to a bunch of wonderful merchandise up for bid on eBay.
Whoop, whoop. Help you do more of this on Thursdays in 2024.
Yes, please support Pagan World TV. We're running the auction because we need to cover some expenses through the end of the year. So please support us.
All right, Sarah, and then how many do we have left? Might we have to put the I don't think just yet.
Let's see. We've got Anissa, Zane, Darla, Fluffy. Okay, I think we're good right now.
All right.
All right. And this one is for Sarah. So, Sarah, the first card I've got for you is the Queen of Swords. She showed up earlier and she's back. So, this represents someone who has learned from their past, learned from their mistakes, and it also represents communication. So, in this situation, be sure you're looking at past mistakes so you don't repeat them and communicate clearly. And then the next card I have is the Ten of Swords. So, still with swords, 10 indicates you're finishing up a cycle here. So you're releasing old things, getting ready to let new things in. And then we've got the Nine of Wands, which shows a woman in jail. So you may be feeling kind of stuck right now, like things are just not moving. And I'm going to pull one more card. And the Seven of Pentacles, which is saying it's time to kind of take a time out and consider your situation and where you want to go. And then last card is the King of Cups. And the King of Cups counsels balance. Enjoy your current situation, but don't let the party get out of hand. So I hope you find that helpful, Sarah.
So the first card I have, Sarah, is the King of Wands, which is about natural leadership, and being able to continue the mission forward but don't stop. However, the second card I pulled is the Eight of Wands. So while you might be a leader, it might seem right now like you have a lot on your plate. You're juggling a lot of tasks, and it might be time to delegate or hand off some of those tasks to either coworkers, family, or friends, other people that you trust who can do the job better, um, if not even better than you or at the same caliber as you. Because right now, for you, you need that balance and that stability from the Two of Pentacles to reassess in the future, what comes next. Because you can't plan forward without getting stable, um, everything you're juggling right now. So I hope that was helpful.
All right. Anissa, I'll be happy to do a general reading. And no, we do not have a tarot deck in the auction items.
Just tarot readings.
Yes, just tarot readings.
Oh, I got another specialty card. Would you like me to show you?
Okay, you may go first.
So the hangman in this deck is actually called suspension, but it has the same meaning. It's about sacrifice, introspection, looking inward, and trusting that that horseshoe that you're dangling from will support you and have your safety in mind. So put trust in that whatever sacrifices you're making are for the greatest good. And then I pulled the Four of Wands. So those sacrifices are to the benefit of your family, your friends, people who will rely on you for stability and support, not financially, but emotionally or physically. Um, and I would say that those people and you have great hope that whatever you're sacrificing or giving up for them will have the greatest outcome in the end.
Okay, well, Anissa, I have pulled the Queen of Swords. Yes, it's me. When Reverend Don did the Kickstarter for this deck, one option was to commission a card. And I asked him to draw me as the Queen of Swords because this card has been showing up to represent me for about 25 years now. Yeah, something like that. So the Queen of Swords, specifically when this one shows up, it really does represent overcoming the obstacles in your life and learning from that and speaking loud and clear. Then the next card I've got for you is the High Priestess. So this card is about talking to, it could be your higher self, your spirit guides, deity, however you want to phrase it. But taking counsel with your higher power on the situation. And then finally, I've got lamps, the Seven of Lamps. And again, this is the suit about spirituality and magic. And this shows a woman in a river or a lake under the full moon, and this is about cleansing. So this is about doing something to cleanse yourself of negativity and things that are holding you back. So be clear about what you need. Take counsel with your higher power, and then do some sort of a cleansing ritual for yourself. And I hope that is useful. And now we are up to Kazane, or Dragon, as she likes to be called. And Dragon would like a general reading. And then let's see here.
I think with Dragon, Darla, and then Fluffy, that should bring us to.
Yeah, we'll have to close out readings after Fluffy.
Yep.
You can go first if you want.
I can if you like. I was just giving you the opportunity if you were ready. So I would say Dragon, the first card I have is the Eight of Pentacles. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is about craftsmanship, hustle, sort of really using your natural abilities and skills to make a little extra cash or money wherever you can. So I would say 'tis the season to do so. So that's promising. And then the second card I have is the Chariot, which is about progress and being victorious in those sorts of financial adventures or gains. And then, however, the third card is the Seven of Cups, meaning that while you're making some extra money or maybe starting a new venture of sorts in that material financial realm, there are going to be some choices ahead that you're going to have to make, and some might be hard, some might be difficult, but really take the time to examine all your options before making a decision.
Okay. So, Dragon, the first card I've got for you is the Ace of Swords. So this is about communication, but it's also about action. And the Ace of Swords really counsels us to go ahead and act in your current situation. But then I've got the Eight of Swords. And when the Eight of Swords comes up, you may be feeling stuck, like you're in a situation you can't do much about. And then I've got the Ace of Wands. And this means this is a situation that you are very passionate about. And I'm going to draw one more card, and I get the Five of Cups, which means there's something in the situation that you are feeling loss or disappointment over. And then I've got the Ace of Cups. So you've got a lot of emotion involved here. and the Ace of Lamps. So we're also involving your spiritual path. One more. And the Princess of Wands. So you're holding something back. But for your final card, I've got the Ten of Pentacles. So the situation is going to work out for you. Just even if it feels like you're stuck, keep moving forward and be true to what you are feeling and don't hold yourself back. So I hope that's helpful. All right. So next up is Darla.
Would you like me to go?
You can go.
Okay, Darla. So the first card head I have is the Three of Cups, which is about celebration, fun times. It's also known as the party card. So 'tis the season for joy and parties and festive occasions. So I would say enjoy yourself. However, not too much of yourself. And then I pulled the Lovers. Now, the Lovers is not always about romantic love, it's about choices. So I would say there are going to be a lot of choices that you're going to have to make this time of year of which parties you go to, who you hang out with, how long you stay, how hard you party. Just be mindful and make good choices or bad ones, whatever floats your boat. And then I have, oh, look, the Mary card. Little less merry here, but it's the Queen of Swords, so it's the Mary card. And I would say, much like Mary does, that hey, if you want to party hard, go party hard. Just be aware of after you party real hard, there are consequences. So also be mindful of how you communicate when you're having a good time. But have a good time anyway. And I hope that was fun. That was a fun combination, actually.
It was. So the first card I've got for you is the Three of Lamps. And this is about working together in community for the greater good. Not as much fun as Bryan's reading. Then I've got the Five of Cups, and that means that something in your current situation or the near future is going to be disappointing in some way. Some sort of emotional loss or a situation just doesn't work out the way you hoped it would. And then we've got the Ace of Cups. And this means that there's something you're going to be very deeply emotionally involved in. So, and I'll pull one more card, and I got the Ace of Lamps. So, yes, this is around your spirituality as well. So, Darla, I hope you find that useful. Okay. And you are welcome, Dragon. And then I'm reading through Fluffy's question here. All right. So why is Fluffy getting technical obstacles?
Well, Mercury doesn't go in retrograde for a couple days. Let me consult the book.
I was about to say, I don't believe we're in retrograde.
We're not yet.
When will we be, since you're looking?
I'm looking. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong calendar. Retrograde enters the 22nd of December.
Okay.
So we're not even in the shadow period yet.
All right.
Well, that was the first thing you do when you have that kind of question. You check the calendar.
To see if something's in retrograde.
Oh, look. Bryan's planner strikes again.
Bryan and the Almighty Planner. I feel like there's a cartoon in that.
I feel like Lord Don should draw a comic book
now. We could ask him.
I want to see how he'd draw me as a comic book character.
All right. He's hinted I'm due to be drawn as one.
Well, you know. Okay, so what we got here, Fluffy? What'd it be? Because it has been a day. So I feel like your technical issues, one, are you're doing too many things at once. Slow down, breathe, think, do. That's usually the first thing that comes up with the 10 of Wands because you're carrying too many things around. So, first up, one thing at a time. The second card I pulled is the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups means that you're, distracted, withdrawn, and sort of in this limbo period. So I would say these snafus are coming up because there's a shift in either your perspective or what you're thinking about, and you're getting distracted. And then, like any project that involves technology, there are certain steps to it. And if you miss a step, it won't work. So there's a step somewhere that you missed and you haven't gone back far enough to fix it. Now, that isn't to say that with the Knight of Pentacles that things can't be fixed and reversed. It is just going to take a more methodical approach, and you're really going to have to sit there and dedicate to whatever this technological snafu is. That needs to be your main objective, purely to fix it, at least for a day or so. Just put everything else away, block out some time and dedicate to only fixing that one thing. Would be my suggestion.
All right. So the first card I've got is the King of Lamps. And this means you're manifesting where you need to be on the spiritual plane. I got the King of Wands, and this is talking about bringing plans together on the physical plane. So, what I'm seeing here is you got a lot of passion, but you need to get your plans in order. And then I've got the Four of Lamps here. And this is talking about consulting another power. And while with the Four of Lamps, she's looking to the stars, I'm almost wondering if you shouldn't, get some outside help. And then I pulled one more card and I got the Nine of Cups for you. So be careful what you wish for here, because it will happen. But yeah, perhaps you need to seek some outside help with your technical issue.
I would support that. There is no shame in asking for help. And I think that's the end of our reading.
I think it is. All right. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. As always, it's been fun for us. I hope y'all have found it to be helpful. I want to thank Bryan for joining me. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
I want to please remind you to check us out at pagan.world/pagan world auction. There's a link to eBay where we have several interesting items up. You can also purchase readings directly, and please support Pagan World and Pagan World TV. We do need your help right now to cover some expenses by the end of the year. So thank you all for joining us. Have a great holiday. We'll be back next Thursday on Tarot Thursday. And until then, blessed be.